Hi and welcome to the Rags to Riches trading videos inspired by informedtrades.com. Well, good morning all and welcome to another day, the 21st of May. It's just gone 6 o'clock in UK. I'm now looking at the US dollar yen trade. Just having a look here at the daily chart. You can see we're in an upwards channel. We had a head and shoulders here. It's just beginning to test that excuse me, as we speak at the moment. Just going to switch this back down to 15-minute chart. And what we can see here is that we've had a fairly strong trend down, retesting the 21 EMA just up here. I just pulled up a fib, and you can see that the fib level is a turn or a retracement between the 50 and the 61.8 zone. Although I just noticed the price is beginning to come back up again, which is interesting. What I might be doing here is just placing an entry order to sell just below that trough there, which is quite an aggressive sort of stance. Normally you'd want to see it go below this low here, but I think there's some merit in doing that. And from a stop perspective, I don't really want to go much further than the top of that sort of pullback there in between the ambush zone. The 61.8 fib is 94.68, so I'm actually going to put the stop in at 94.75, giving that just a little bit of room for manoeuvre. If it does go through the 61.8, then I would really expect it to be reversing a little bit, certainly in the shorter term. From a limit perspective, I'm actually looking at 93.70 excuse me, and I'll just show you why that is. If I go back out on this chart, which might even just be easier just to quickly pop that over to the 60-minute chart. What we've actually got here, you can see that very well on this new colour scheme. I'll move that up. We've actually got a weekly support level just in here. Weekly support levels do tend to be, even if in the short term, respected. So I think that's probably a good place to actually stop that one out. We're looking at some of these other things I look at in terms of the forex factory side of things. There's nothing obvious about USD yen, but there are a number of statistics coming out of Europe and GBP pound retail sales in particular. And whilst these don't necessarily relate specifically to the US dollar and the yen, what they do is give an indication of where people think the economies are. And again, depending on the results of these, you may or may not see some sort of US dollar safe haven play if the economic news is significantly worse than expected. So I'll be needing to keep an eye on that as we go along. FX Street technical analysis is also showing strongly bearish. I don't really have any great surprises there. They're also on the trading signals, they're looking at a limit order being placed at 93.84, which is slightly lower than mine, I have to say, but I'd rather err on the side of caution to a large degree, as you'll probably begin to see through a lot of the things I do. And the move down is also indicated on the daily FX Plus site as well. So from that perspective, things are looking reasonably good. Okay, I'm going to pause the video there, and I'll come back to this a little bit later to see exactly where we've gone with it. Alright, we're now at London Open at 8 o'clock. As you can see, price has actually gone up beyond now the 61.8 fib level that I pulled earlier, and it's actually hovering around where my stop would have been placed had I gone live. So this really shows the benefit of actually using an entry order, because had I gone in as a market order, I would now be facing a loss. Really just trying to see what might happen now. Looks like there might be a bit of profit taken after yesterday's fantastic drop. So just putting another couple of fib levels in here just to try and get a feel for this. Now that's the last, what I would call, strong move, but there's actually also the main move of the day yesterday, which is from there down to here. Now what we actually see is that we've actually got something of an area here with 50 fib level of this move here and the 38.2 of this one here form some form of resistance. So for right now I'm actually going to cancel off my entry order, not take a trade, because I'm actually not convinced that would be the right thing to do, quite frankly. So I'm actually going to walk away from this one right now. I'm actually going to keep these fib levels on. I'm actually going to see what's happening. So as far as I see it, there are two potential turning points again. One is around about here, which is the 38.2 level of this move here, or possibly more like, and also by the way, the falling 100 EMA. So really that's probably the favourite, if you like, in terms of where I think price may now get to and reverse, but we shall see. And then the other one on the backup would be this one here, which is the combination of the two previous fib levels and what will then be the falling 200 EMA. So I'm just going to leave this one for now, see how it develops, but I'm now at work, so it depends what happens over the next hour really as to whether I'll look into this or be passing on a trade for today. Now back in the US dollar yen situation, what we've seen here is a test of the 55 EMA, got a pretty long wick on the 15 and price is beginning to move down. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place an entry order here to sell. I'm just going to place the stop just above that physical round number of 95, which is a pretty strong level of resistance anyway, and a sort of psychological area, and we've got the 100 EMA coming down. I'm going to place the limit order 93.70 just as I did before and see whether that gets us anywhere. There we have the order placed. I'm just going to freeze this video again. Doesn't look like price is going to hit it, but I'm just going to freeze it here on the basis that YouTube has that limit. I may have to split this video over two parts actually, so we'll see how we go. Here we are, just a few minutes after I placed the entry order. It's already been hit, down something like 5 pips at the moment, so that's pretty much the spread. There's been quite a lot of reasonable news coming out of Europe, things looking better than expected, and that should theoretically be adverse to the dollar, because people will possibly take that as a sign of recovery, maybe look at equity investments again, and then that could lead to a flight away from the US safe haven. But again, we shall see. What I'll do is pause this video now. It's now nearly 9 o'clock. I have to go and do my day job. And what I will do is come back to this over my lunch break or possibly before and see what happens. But my order's in. I shall stick with that now and see where we go. I hope you enjoyed that video. Please feel free to visit us at Traders Community at www.informedtrades.com for traders of all levels, for free education and trade discussion. Hope to see you there.